Hi all. In this video series, we'll be looking at Apex concepts and how we can use them. Without any delay, let's get started. Before we actually get into the Apex concepts, I have a simple puzzle for you. So on my right hand side, I have two glasses named glass A and glass B. In glass A, we have red colored juice. In glass B, we have yellow colored juice. Now the puzzle is we wanted red juice to be in glass B and the yellow juice to be in glass A. So in short, we wanted to interchange the juices in between these glasses. So this is the before state and this is how we wanted the glasses to be. So in glass A, we want the yellow juice. So we wanted this juice to be transferred into the glass A and this red juice to be in glass B. So this is the state where in which we wanted to move. So this is the simple puzzle. In case if you want some time, pause this video and you can quickly take a minute to brainstorm. I'll count down 3. In case if you want to pause the video, you can pause that. In 3, 2, 1, I'll reveal my answer. Yes, you have guessed it right. So we need a temporary glass to basically do this operation. We have called it as a temporary glass with name glass C. The reason being, when we have initially set up this puzzle, we didn't had any third glass that was given. So that is why I'm calling it as a temporary glass or a glass that we have taken out of the box. So now let's understand how can we do this process. In case if you need an extra second to think, you can pause the video. I'll be revealing the answer in 3, 2, 1, go. I hope you have guessed the answer right. So this is the process that we need to follow so that we can achieve the requirement of interchanging the liquids from glass A to glass B. This is our before state and this is our after state. So let's go step by step and understand what is happening here. Now I've taken this glass C as a temporary glass, or you may call it as glass C for this example, so that we can proceed with this interchanging of the liquids. The first step that I'll be doing in this process is I'll be taking a glass C, which we have already discussed. Step number 2 is to transfer the liquid that is there in glass A into glass B. So what would happen is we'll be moving this liquid into glass C. So now this glass A would be empty and our glass C would be having the red colored juice that we have in glass A. So now glass C would have the red juice and glass A is empty right now. Since this is empty, now what I'll be doing is I'll be pouring this liquid from glass B to glass A. So now what would happen is, if you check, we have done with the first part of our puzzle, which is nothing but having yellow colored juice in our glass A, which is done. So just by doing this, step 2 and step 3, we were able to solve the first part of our puzzle, which was the after state. So this is what we wanted. So we've got till this point. Now if you see here, our glass A is filled and glass B is empty. Now this time the glass A is not empty. It has the yellow juice. Now the glass B is empty. Now what we will do is, since we have the third variable or a temporary glass which is holding on to the liquid that is coming from glass A, which has to go to glass B, we'll simply pour this liquid back to glass B. So now the empty glass, which was glass B earlier, now has a red liquid in it or red colored juice in it. So now if you see here, there is a step-by-step process that we have followed, where in which we have interchanged the liquid between the two glasses. Step 1, to take a new glass. Step 2 is to pour the liquid from glass A to glass C. So that is step 2. On step number 3, what we have done, since glass A is empty, we have transferred the liquid from B to A. That is where we have ended up into this state. So this part of the puzzle is done. So only this part is pending, which is nothing but having glass B with a red liquid in it or red colored juice in it. So since our glass C is holding on to the red juice, what I did as step number 4, I've transferred that liquid from glass C to glass B. That is where we have interchanged the juice here. Now in terms of the pseudocode is something that we would Pseudocode is basically something that helps us put something on the paper so that we can revisit that logic whenever we need it. So if you see here, we have done the same process in terms of the pseudocode. Move A to C, that means move the value of A into glass C. That is our first step. And then since our glass A is empty, we can move the liquid from glass B to glass A. Then step number 3 is to basically move the content or a value that is there or a liquid that we have in glass C to glass B. So that way you would be interchanging the liquids between the two glasses. If you ask me, what is this class example? What is this puzzle has to do with our Apex concepts? You might be wondering why we are having this puzzle when we are here for learning the Apex concepts. Do not worry, there is a concept hidden in this example which you will get to know shortly. To reveal the trailer of this concept that we have just gone through, the trailer name is variable. Now, unknowingly, we have gone through what exactly the variable does. If you see here, when we have asked to transfer the liquids from glass A to glass B and glass B's content into glass A, we were not able to do that because we needed an extra kind of a glass to hold on to the liquid from one of the glasses. So we needed some kind of a storage device wherein which we can transfer one liquid into another glass so that we can proceed with this transfer. So if you see here, this glass B was acting like a variable here, and also this glass A and glass B are also acting like a variables here. Now why it is called as variable? If you see here, earlier the value inside glass A was the red colored juice. Now the same glass is now holding the yellow colored juice. That means the value that is inside this glass is changing. So that is where we got this concept name as variable, because it changes depending on the value that you put inside it. So if you see here, we have 3 different variables. Glass A being the first variable, glass B the second variable, and glass C the third variable. Using these variables, we were able to transfer the liquids between the two glasses. Initially, it was glass A as a variable, glass B as a variable. In order to transfer the values between these two things, we were using a third variable called glass C. Now let's understand this variable in detail and what exactly it would be like in our Salesforce. In case if you have followed the previous example, we'll be just taking that as a reference to understand this new example that I have in front of you, which is pretty much doing the same thing, but in a different avatar. So let's understand what is the ask here, and then we'll proceed with the process. Instead of having glass A, I have a box with name A and another box with name B. And in this box A, I have a number called 10 in it. In this box B, I have a number called 20 in it. Now what I want is, just like we have seen in the previous example, I would like to interchange the values between these two values, right? So this is my before state, right? So this is my after state. This is what I wanted to achieve. So just like how we have discussed the glass example, we kind of needed another temporary box or a temporary glass in our previous example to achieve this one. So in this case, I'm taking another box called C. And as of now, I'm keeping the value as 0 initially. So now what I'll be doing the same process. If I wanted to transfer this one, I'll go ahead and put this value in this box C. Then I'll be transferring this B value into A, which becomes 20 in box A, which is the half part of our puzzle that is done. Since our B variable is empty now, or B box is empty right now, so I'll be transferring this value in C to B, which is our second part of our puzzle, which is nothing but B box should be having value called 10. Right? If you see here, it is pretty much the same thing that we have discussed in the previous example, just that instead of classes, we have boxes here. Now, if you ask me, what are these boxes? You can kind of imagine them as memory boxes. Right? So for time being, think them as memory boxes. Or in terms of the Apex programming language, what we call these boxes as. We call this box as a variable. The reason being, the value inside this box keep changing depending on our requirement. So that is why this is called as variable, just like how we are discussed in our previous example. Now, how many such boxes that we have? For the variable parts, we have variable A, as a box, variable B as a box, and variable C. Right? So we are using kind of 3 boxes to basically go through this requirement, and this is our before state of the boxes, and this is the after state. Right? So this is how we would be using these boxes here. Right? So instead of calling them as boxes, from now onwards I'll be calling them as variables, because those are helping us store a value, which might be changing time to time and depending on our requirement. So now what is this C is all about? So this C is nothing but called as variable name. So if someone asks you what exactly the C is, you can say that it's a variable name that we have given. Right? So now what goes inside this variable? 10 is the value that is there in this variable. So that is called as value. Inside this variable, we have a value called 10. So this 10 is a value. So in short, C is the variable name. This box is called as a variable. The value that we have inside this C as a variable is 10. So this is the understanding of this box. If you apply the same understanding to the other boxes, this is how it goes. I have a variable called A, and the value inside it is 10. And I have a variable called B, and the value inside it is 20 in the before state. And if you look at the after state of this variables, I have a variable called A, the value inside this variable is 20, and I have a variable B, the value inside this 10. So this is how you would read this example. This is how you read this tag. Now if you see here, there is a kind of a close comparison that we can make from the previous example and this example. If you see here, this class is a variable which is holding on to our value for some time. Right? The content that goes inside it is called as a value. And we have gave a name to this class, which is nothing but a variable. Right? If you compare these two things, you can correlate, right, and kind of understand how we have made use of these values in our previous example. In the previous example, we had class A as a variable, class B as a variable, and class C as a variable. In class A, initially we had kind of a red liquid, and class B had yellow liquid. And post that, in the after state, we had class A, which is holding on to the yellow liquid, and class B is holding on to the red liquid. Right? So this is how you can make use of your variable understanding. Whenever you come to hear this variable, always try to recollect that this is the representation of your variable. Right? So this is the basic understanding of your variable. In the coming classes, we'll just extend this understanding. For now, a simple variable would be looking like this: a kind of a memory box, wherein which you would be giving a name to this memory box, and inside that memory box you would be keeping a value inside it. So this is the variable name, this is the value, and this is called as a variable.